as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
Cool. Hey everyone. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat.
finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest.
Okay, I see Chris is typing. Firstly, how is everyone doing? Drop a scale in the chat, 1 to 5. 1 being, well, let's say you're just making it, right? It's not really a great day, it's not a bad day, but you're okay. So that's what 1 would be. And then 5 would be you're having a great day, you're winning trades, you're just having the best time. So drop your numbers in chat, 1 to 5. Okay, can you guys hear me now? I don't know why Discord's doing this, but every single time before I start an event, if I'm on the stage when it starts, you guys won't hear me. I don't understand. I'll have to go fix it or check with Discord what's happening there, but sorry guys. Yeah, drop a number in the chat, 1 to 5, how you guys are doing. 1 being okay, you're just making it. 5 being it's good, it's going well, you're happy, things are going well. Nalesh with a 1. Hectic, man. Okay, we got a 3, we got a 4. I have got streamer mode turned on, so I won't be able to see everyone's names in the chat. Maybe let me turn that off. Yeah, there we go. Okay, someone wanted to come up on stage. You're welcome to come on stage and just have a chat. This is not like a planned formal session. It's literally just, I'm trying to get back into trading. I decided to do it over the weekends because that's when I have most time. So these sessions are literally just me sharing my trading journey with you guys, and then you guys are welcome to tag along for the ride. And then this is also will allow me to help reach my own goals within trading, and also to show you guys what I think through when I go through it. Okay, for the people that's on YouTube, let me know if you guys hear and see everything perfectly fine. It's been a while since I've actually ran a stream, so I'm not sure if things are working the way they should. Okay. Okay, one of my alerts went off. I should probably start the screen share in Discord first and just close these windows. Cool. Let me know if you guys can see my screen perfectly fine. Let me know if it's freezing for anyone. Nissa, there's no move in crypto on weekends. Yes, there are. You just need to be patient and realize that the market moves slower over weekends. I predominantly don't have a lot of time, so I can only trade on the weekends. I can do long-term trades, but if I don't have the time to sit and watch the charts, then I don't like being in those trades. So generally on the weekend, I'll try and scalp to try and build up portfolio. By a show of hands, or drop your favorite emoji in the chat. Who was here with the previous session that I did? I think it was last weekend. Also around about this time, give or take. Etienne, I see you there in the chat, bro. Yes, fist bump, bro. Okay, so straight off the bat, I should probably start off with a sheet. For those of you who were here, I was setting up a sheet to track the goal for my personal trading journey. And the goal is to get to $481, give or take, before April next year. So that's a very achievable goal. It's a very realistic goal. And I just need to add the other trades that I've taken this week. Let me get to my trading app quickly. Okay, so straight off the bat, right? I took 2 trades last week and I got stopped out of both because there was a change in market direction. So the 2 trades that I took need to be added. This one was on the 19th of August. So let's just copy this.
Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I
So this was on the 19th, and I lost because my stop loss got hit twice. So the first time was 2.39%, 93%, and then the second one was a bit bigger. It was for the same trade, but I didn't have confirmation of the direction, so hence why the trade still looked good. So in total, what's that? 8% that I'm down by? 9%, give or take. So yeah, it's okay. Like overall, I'm still up. If you look at this, 3, 15, 20. So still up a good 30% overall. Not bad. Like you guys all know, losses is part of the journey. I can probably mark this in red for myself. Well, let's just fix this column. Filter. No, not a filter. We need a style. So additional formats. If number is greater than 0. Another rule. If number is less than cool. And then I could probably add a total here. So overall, I'm still up 34%, give or take, which is not bad. So if I look at my portfolio now, that gives me a total of about $136 to work with. And then the days left, obviously this is moving on. Today's date is 24th. So that puts me at a total of 64% that I still need to gain on the current portfolio to get to my goal of $481 by the start of April next year. Checking the chat. Okay, Nazar, Mr. I have like 25k in spot. I trade Solana only. What should my goal be? Okay, let's start off with the very basic questions. You probably would have been asked this question in any of the schools that you were in, but what's your goal? Like, why are you trading? What's the money for that you're putting into the system? I think your sound is off again. Is that so? Can anyone hear me? Okay, that's the issue. It wasn't on my headset. You guys should be able to hear me now, and I should sound much better. Just let me know in the chat. Okay. You can't hear me. Try leaving and rejoining quick. Thanks, Etienne. Yeah, it's slow. All those trades was just with the strategy that I was talking about in the week on the trading group that I'm in. So yeah, just waiting for a double top or double bottom, and then making sure I have good confluence and taking a trade from there. Checking the YouTube stream while we're waiting for our friend to rejoin. Okay. I'm not sure if he's back yet, but 25k in spot. That's a big value. Like, let's take a look at Solana while we wait for him. So my alert actually went off. We looked at this chart last weekend, right? And you saw these two levels that I plotted out. Those were the first two levels that I would be looking for a short from if we got to that point, right? So you can see now we've tapped that first level of resistance after breaking through a MA, which MA is this 200 4 hour. Okay, so that's a key MA, right? You can see that we're currently coming back to retest that MA. So for this reason alone, that we've had a nice clean break above the MA, I won't short this, right? Earlier this week, the MA was not in this area, hence why I was very keen to short from this level, right? But because the MA is actually below this level now, it actually means we're going to be testing it as support right now. So for what I'm seeing right now, if you look at all the other indicators that I use, right, you can see that there's a lot of different signals and things coming from the indicators right now. We've also broken through this order block, so now it's a breaker. And you can tell by what's happening between the oscillator and the ASO. The ASO right now is currently red at the bottom, so that means it's primed to short. But if you look at the last, let me just make this full screen. Look at the last three powerful moves on this ASO. It has been strength only. The blue line has not come down once in the last three moves, so that tells you that there's strength in the market right now for Solana. So not shorting right now might be a good idea, because if you look, we've only made higher highs on the ASO, which means strength is still pretty much on the buying side right now. That's just what I'm seeing on the oscillators. Stock is moving as it should. Stock will generally keep up, but if you look at this section here where it topped out, that's agreeing with what we're seeing on the oscillator and the ASO. The oscillator as well, you see we had 3 short signals, but we haven't shorted once. The 1 hour is starting to print short now because we are coming down slightly to retest on the MA by the looks of things. This break in the order block right now also is a fair value gap by the looks of things. So this might actually be a prime spot to zoom in on a 15-minute, just to take a look at what we're seeing here. So I would like to see what the fibs are telling me from this low to the current high. So straight off the bat, right, the MA is slicing through this candle more or less right in the middle at 50%. You can also see that this lines up with the fib at 50%, so that would be a really good area to buy in from. You can see that the ASO is also about to cross out, so, or meet in the middle, so that means that the short is coming to an end. Generally, if it comes back to the 50%, I would consider the trade done there. Also the oscillator, the price oscillator, is also in the middle, so this usually when you get to the middle it can go either way, but stock RSI is telling us it's a good opportunity to get in, and I am inclined to agree with that, just mainly because of this MA. I think it was on BNB. For those who are curious, the 2 trades that I got stopped out on was on my old faithful token, BNB. Just checking the chat for any questions. Some background music if you want to make sure it's working. I've got music playing, so it should pull through on the stream if you are watching the YouTube stream. Okay, hey, Nazar, you can hear me now? That's cool. We were actually just going through Solana now, so if you want my take on Solana, then you can take a look there. I'll come back to the Solana chart now. I'm just explaining what happened to me, why I got stopped out. So, let me just check the time of the trade I took. So this was on the 19th at 7:30. Okay, 19th of August. Ah, yeah. Right. You can see I still have my old alarm set there. You can see I have the short set up. So if we do the replay, we were here. Okay. So this is what I was seeing on my screen at that point in time. And you can see now that this lined up for the most perfect setup that I've been using to get that 30% gain on this sheet. This has been the only strategy I've been trading for the last few months, and it's been successful so far. As you can see, I've only taken 8% stop for 34% gain, so it's not bad. It was 100% up until those two trades, but you know, it is what it is. So let me break it down for you. So first things first, you look for a high double top in this case. That is the most ideal setup. So you can see that that would be the area I was targeting. Then you can see that the 204-hour MA is also acting as resistance here. So that's two layers of confluence right now. This is the top of the range as well for this last cycle or last move. So that would be this section, right? So that's sort of three confluences there. Then you can see the stock was about to cross to the top. We're in the high 90s. So that's like prime entry exit position. Oscillator showed a red sell signal. ASOs also topped and bottomed out. So that ticks all my boxes to enter the trade. And then the final one would be that we were sort of in a order block here as well. Not a very strong order block. You can see that there's a small doji candle in the start of this area over here. So that's 5 confluences that we are going short. So I entered the first short. Let me go back. I just moved off my chart. I entered my first short. This was the setup that I had. Actually, that was not the setup I had. So copy paste, move this to over there. My stop loss was 0.38 stop loss. I remember this because I just shared this information. Right. So then everything went according to plan. I was in profit for like a few minutes. So let's come down to the... Obviously I set this up on the hour, right? But I came down to the 15-minute for the entry. Then I went down to the 5-minute to see what was happening. So I actually entered... Yeah, give or take. So I was up about 3%, 4%. And then price just decided to hammer me. So wait. Let's play. There. I got stopped out. I saw we made a higher high. And then I was like, okay, wait, what's happening? Why did this happen? So then you can see the stock RSI still at the 90s. Hasn't crossed yet. So technically I was like, okay, I entered too early on this one, right? So then second entry was about here, give or take. And same thing happened. I got stopped out again. Yeah, about there. That's where I got stopped out. So then on the 5-minute, right? This is what I saw. Wait, I need to go back to the actual 15 for that entry, because on the entry for the 15, okay, no, it doesn't show in the replay. But the trick that I learned was, if the stock ends up topping out at the 100 on the time frame that you're setting up the trade, it means on a lower time frame that price action or the candles have broken through a significant MA. And I only found this out that night because I was watching the chart actively. So the stock was stuck on the 100% mark on the 50-minute, which is where I was getting my entry. And then I went to the 5-minute as well to see what was the data. And because both of them were topped out at 100, right? That told me that all my confluences for the short are like out the door. Like I can't rely on them because a stock that's topped out means that there's more price growth, right? So yeah, that was my key revelation. If a stock is topped out, that's a flaw in my setup. That means we're about to break some key horizontal level, so I should watch out for that. But now going in the future, that's what I'll be looking for. If a stock hits 100, and this hit 100 way before I even entered the trade, right? So, well, not way before, but like before the price moved away from my entry, right? So I still had like 5 minutes to check, hey, okay, is this still going my way? Is it a good trade? Is it a bad trade? So if you are actively watching the chart, just take note of that. So if you see 100, just know it's breaking through a level that you might want to look at. So yeah, so because this was a break in 200 MA, after that second stop loss, I was like, okay, no, this is a break of a MA. Generally, you do not trade a break of a MA because price just runs away. So if we go back to Sol right now, Sol 1 hour. Oh, and then I need to go back to the actual price. So if you go back to Sol right now, there's that same MA. We've just broken through it. Obviously, we're on the weekend right now, so the volatility won't be as big as it was for that move for me in the week. Beginning of the weekend, end of the weekend. 19th was on Monday. Yes, it was a Monday. So beginning of the weekend for me, or end of the weekend for me. So looking at that information, right? Coming down back to this MA, key horizontal level, order block that's become a breaker now. And then the fair value gap on that candle. Those are 3 significant confluences for me to go long from this point. You can also see that we're lining up with a 50 fib there. So that would pretty much be a long that would be okay to take. As for the stop loss, that might be a bit big, but I'm not sure where we would be targeting. But considering that that is a key level that we have tested, let's check quickly. Levels of significance that I would target would probably be that area over there. Between those 3 highs over there, that would probably form a level as well on the hour time frame. I've got this one as well that I plotted out last time when I was looking at Solana. So this is at 161, give or take. So if we just put a long tool here quickly. Oh, sorry, that's a fib. Sorry. Just accidentally clicked off of Solana there quickly. So I would target this first high. Need to adjust the stop loss quickly. So this would be more or less what I would be looking at, give or take. So wherever we find support in this area, that would be the area I would look to enter. as close to the MA as possible and that 50 fib. Then the stop loss, I would have. So there's two ways to do this, right? The one would be just after the fair value gap. So that would be the bottom of that candle. If you really trust fair value gaps, I don't have that much faith, so my stop loss might be a bit bigger. But then I'd be targeting a bigger move, right? So that first high is all good for the first TP. But then this would be a longer term trade for that second TP over there. This isn't a very strong high from what I can see, considering that it was a high to complete this gap that was formed on the MA. You can see that that fair value gap also acted or reacted there. No, it's not a fair value gap because there's a break of structure there. So you can see that there was no support. That's essentially what this candle means. There was no support in this area because it was one straight shoot down. So it was very easy to get rejected there. But now this is the second time that we're trying to break through this MA since this drop, right? So just based off of that, I'm very happy to take a trade here. It's just about getting a nice entry in that area now. So I would watch the 15-minute, maybe a 5-minute to see what's happening. Because it's weekend, it might not happen anytime soon. We might consolidate a little first and then have a move. But consolidation on the MA, that is ideal. So if you do this method, you're looking at about a 1.5% stop, roundabout, give or take. On a low time frame, this could also form an area of support. Let's just go with the 15-minute quickly. Yeah, you can see there's an order block there as well, so that would be an area you could put your stop loss under. The alternative is you could just wait to see if it comes down to tap that order block and then go. But yeah, that is what I'm looking for. That is what I'm gonna be waiting for. Does that give you an idea of what I'm looking for? If so, addendum to this, if we see that let's go to the 4-hour quickly. So take note that the 4-hour still topped out. We got the blue on the ASO also on top, and then the oscillator also calling for a short. So just keep note of that. The 4-hour is still showing very bearish because it's still showing the setup that I was looking at a few days ago last week. So if that is the case, we may have to look for a potential support area over here. This is now the longer term trade, right? So a little bit longer than the 1-hour trade that I just showed you guys. But that would be a level that I would actually look at for support if we were to go below that 200 MA 4-hour. But for now, I'm not going to be worrying about that because based on how long it takes for the stock to get to those significant places and cross, it's going to take some time. So this might only play out in the week for me. But that would be what I would be looking at. So very short 1-hour climb, maybe to this high, and then we can look for a short from there. So that is my plan. That is what I'll be looking at. Is there any questions in the chat? You guys only hear me talking. Only hear music. Okay. Give me 1 second there. Okay. Properties. Headset. Okay, well, according to my streaming software, you guys should be able to hear me on stream, so that should be fine. I just pause the music for now. Don't really need it at the moment. Um, okay, coming back to Discord, let's check the chat. We hear music, you're talking, check your talking settings. Okay, don't worry about the stream. The stream is literally just to like get back into the swing of things. I will sort that out maybe next time so that we have actual voiceover in that video. Um, but yeah, we'll be getting back into that more actively. Etienne, what is the ASO? I am not sure. I know Thalis and Terry Lynn used the ASO and they introduced me to it. I liked what it did because essentially it's a more clear indicator than the momentum, right? Uh, if you remember how I used to train in the past, I used to have the momentum indicator as well. The only difference here is that it tracks momentum in the short and long directions, so you can actually determine which direction the momentum is moving easier. So essentially, it comes down to the same thing. Um, ASO, I see you got a nice explanation there from GPT. Biko, can you correct me? That's a correction or a breakout on the uptrend. Okay, I haven't looked at any alts other than Solana at this point, but let's take a look. Okay, straight up. Oh, it's on KuCoin. Interesting. So clean chart. Let me just turn off the order blocks here quickly. You've got a trend going from that low all the way up to the 52.11. And then you've got a fib as well. Okay, I'll tell you now. So you do have got this going. Wait, are we on the same chart? You are on Bybit. Now that might cause a difference. Let me get the Bybit chart. If I look at your stock, oh wait, what time frame are you on? 15 minute. That's the reason. Okay, so there's that high. This is where you drew your trend from. You've got it like that. Then you've got your fib from here to there. Um, okay. What other information did you have? You got that going. Okay. First things first, I don't think your fib is going to track accurately, considering that you're tracking over like, what's that, two highs. The fib for this move would be from there to there, right? Or this high over here. One of those two. It'll probably be where I've got it right now, right? So that fib tracks that move because on the 50-minute, this is the high or the wave that was made. So you can see you had a retest of 382 there. You then went back up. And this one looks like a deeper pullback. Yeah, so pullback on 786 there. Let's do this one more time. 786 again. And then finally, the last sort of wave in this three hops. So according to this, right, that was a 618 pullback for this last wave. So good area to be supported for long. Um, you can say that that was a break out to the downside, but looking at how short this trend line was drawn, I don't think that that would be very accurate. I'm just going through my own mental process, right? You're welcome to share any insights or things as you see fit, and you're also welcome to come up on stage and share your inputs. But yeah, looking at this right now, that isn't a very strong trend because this area over here doesn't really connect. So I'm not really liking this trend right now. Both those areas don't touch. You've got this as well that's not touching. So if you readjust your trend, then that's telling me that you've actually got support going now. Sorry, I need to uninstall the spacebar because I keep moving away from the chart. So what I'm seeing straight off the bat, right? If that is the start of the support and you readjust it to then connect with your middle point here, you can see we're actually on support right now. And then this would actually have been a good area to buy based off what we're seeing right now. Obviously depending on the time frame that you did this on, but on the 15-minute right now, we may consolidate a bit longer. But you bounced on 618. There's trend line support on a higher time frame. This is probably like an hour trend. Um, and we're at the resistance right now, right? So from this perspective, I would let it wait. Just looking at this, right? You've got massive resistance here right now. So there's no point in getting into a trade at the moment. We first need to see if this support from below actually helps you to break through this. If you broke through this, that might be a good opportunity to long at the top of that range. Solana 15-minute horizontal ray. Okay, I'll go back and check that now. Beaker, does that make sense? Whereas you want me to sing? I charge extra for that, bro. Ah, there we go. Uncle Waz with all the information. ASO, average sentiment oscillator. Um, yeah, for everyone that's here in the chat, you won't, I don't think you're gonna hear me on the YouTube. There's some settings I need to check. But you're on the Discord, you should be able to hear me. I can't hear him, just tell me about Damn, you missed my analysis. Did I record? Well, it's supposed to be recording. Like, maybe let me unmute myself. Did I record? Well, it's supposed to be recording. Yeah, the sound's working. I can hear myself perfectly fine on stream. Okay. Okay. Let me just go back to the charts quickly. Solana is pinging or hitting one of my alerts. We're still at this area over here. Oh, okay. So we're coming back up. So it means we might have already missed the entry. Um, we'll need to see if it's going to consolidate sideways a bit more. But it looks like it's forming a flag. So that might be a good area to get an entry. There might still be one more pullback. Because currently what we're seeing right now, straight off the bat, we see a trend building. 5 minutes. So if we come back to the hour, we should still have a little bit more room coming down. So until we see more interest in that area, I'm just gonna wait on that one. Uncle Bitcoin. I haven't checked Bitcoin all week, guys. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, that's interesting. So Bitcoin has broken through my last two levels. So let's just go remove that. I don't need all that information right now, but you can see the same thing has happened here. 200 MA, 4 hour, massive break, skyrocket, jump pad, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, this would have been the same sort of idea as the BNB trade that I took. Double top is what I would have looked for. And I would have looked for a short from there. But on the bigger scale of things, we broke. Okay, oscillator showing some bearish div on the 1 hour. However, this looks like a small term flag to me. What we got going on here? So I don't trade flags very often, but what we would like to see is support in this area. So the orange color is usually my SR flip. So we would like to see this area hold as support. So if we break down to the downside first, come back to get support and then move up, that would be ideal. If I look at my fib, so coming down to that level would be a 382 level, which is really bullish. And Bitcoin looks really bullish right now, not gonna lie. So if that's the case, we'll probably need a level that we could target for TPs. This is still acting as resistance. So that's a very clear level. I'm going to use horizontal here. That's a resistance level. We haven't tested it yet. So that might be where we get a rejection. Then this area over here will be the first significant resistance. fair value gap over here. Interesting. So that means on a bigger time frame, this will also be something that you're looking for. Okay, so firstly, I need to set up my alarms. Check chart. Okay, so if we have a breakout to the top side here, right? Um, depending on how it breaks, right? If it breaks and we don't pass that last high we made, this one, right? If we don't break that, I'm not confident that this long would go past that level. So we might get rejected here and come down to find support and then go back up to test that high. If that's the case, that would be ideal because it means then we're going to be using like a 236 on this fib, which could potentially mean good support for a higher move up. But if we don't see that, if we don't see that break significantly above this high, then we are coming back down according to my TA to come test and find support lower first, whether it be at 382, 0.5, or 618. One of those three, all three are within the support flip area, which is above the 200 MA. So that's what I would like to see. And if we do get there, then I think we can comfortably break past this high and this small resistance we've got going on here for this bigger zone at 66,600. So that's what I'm seeing. Those are the trades that I'll be targeting this week. That's what stop losses are for. So yeah, for those of you who actually know about Trickus Duplessis fight, you guys know who took the biggest stop loss on his matches. So it turns out that Drake, yes, the rapper, the artist, the hip hop artist, Drake has lost 3 trades or bets against Trickus because he's betted that Trickus would lose his last 3 MMA fights. Okay, so yeah, that's my short update on what I'm doing or what I'm looking at. Like I said, I only look at Bitcoin and Sol these days. Is there anything in the chat you guys want to check through quick while you guys still got me? Oh, just one sec while you guys checking if there's anything you wanted me to check. I just realized how I missed a golden opportunity there. So after this breakout happened, right? It never occurred to me that that would have been the perfect place to go long from. If I had just remembered that, how much percentage would that have been? That was a 9% move. Not bad. About 7% if I targeted the first significant high. Okay, I remember that. So if you're looking, if you see like a random S pattern, meaning resistance at the first step or the start of the S, the bottom of the S, the breakout through a MA, top of the S. Okay. And if I bring a fib into the mix, what is this? 618. Should have known. So sad. Hey, Pika, did you just enter that trade, or have you been in that trade? Like, let us know, man. Like, what's happening there? Like, is that an active trade right now? Also, how's your trading going, guys? Like, are you guys okay? Have you been winning? Have you been losing? Let me just take a look at Bitcoin on the 15-minute. Six one eight. Doing good. But I don't think there's enough pressure to break through that top trend right now. Yet. Take a look at ETH. I haven't actually done ETH in a while, so I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so we're at the top of the range for ETH. Was that a nice breakout there? That's what I'm seeing straight off the bat. So this might actually be a nice breakout. Because we got the MA. Oh, this is a chart that's lagging. We haven't actually broken through that MA yet, so that might actually be a good trade. So maybe ETH is still asleep. Let's check the 4-hour quickly. Okay, so we're still in a range. That's what we can see happening right here, right now. Right? There's that double top that I look for. So let me just come back here quickly. Right? So on the 4-hour, that was that double top that I usually look for. Then I look for more confluence towards the short side because we're at the resistance. And if I were to bring in, actually, I can't use a fib. There's been too much consolidation. But it would be cool to find out quick. That's 50%. So it's balanced. So yeah, we're building up now. So if we look at BNB and Solana, they both have broken through that MA. Considering how close this is, I might actually look for a long from here. Um, Long term though, considering ETH is so far behind everything else. So then, looking at this last move, 2.7k, give or take. Would be a nice area for support, I would say. Um, Given that we've seen a lot of strength at 382 on all the other charts for this same play. Also has a little bit of support by the break of the trend over there, so maybe not a bad idea. Might not be a good idea either, so like I'm saying, I'm just speculating here right now. But if we do break above this high, right, that means the MA in the next couple of candles should round out. So in my head, that's pretty much let's go for the break. Then areas we would target, this would be the first sort of area, that eye over there. And then the second one, it'll be a complex area, but it's between those two drops over there. But then the one above it's the more significant high, but we could see some consolidation in that area. So that would actually be very nice. So if we see a break of this MA, potential low here, support on MA, consolidation between this area, and then break for the next high. That actually doesn't look too bad in my books. So straight off the bat, I would be looking for this. So now the question is, we need to find an entry. Could enter now for the small trend, but there's no guarantee that we're going to break out on the third attempt. But ideally, I would like to be in this trade before we break this trend to the top side. Whether it happens now, I'm not sure. So I'll need to give it some time. Um, but on the bigger time frame, entering the trade closer to the 382 would be the ideal entry here. Okay. This has been a very, very quick breakdown of everything that I look at. That's usually all I look at these days. So if you guys have anything you want to go through, let me know. But this is going to be a very short session for me today. I've been buying spot bags on Pico bottoms of late, to be honest. Fiat mining keeps me busy. Yeah, I can understand. Fiat mining keeps me busy these days as well. Um, but you have to do what you need to do, right? Pico, thanks a lot, bro. A lot, my bad. Fib around the waves, and my uptrend was not correct. Look, your uptrend was okay for the time you drew it, I'm guessing, right? But just remember, if there's a chance that you can connect more than two, and it's like so close to your current trend, then it means you just need to like draw it a bit lower or direct the direction a bit better, then you'll find the trend that works. Now, not to get cut my losses, wait for correction to get exit with my entry. Yeah, I think that would be the best idea. See if it comes back up closer to your entry, and then you can try and look and balance it out. If not, see if that trend actually holds. If that trend holds, you might be able to ride it back up, but obviously don't take a bigger stop just because you're waiting for the exit. Delish. Thanks, bro. Much appreciated. No problem, man. Let's check Gummy. Okay. Not the most liveliest action. I see we had a massive sell off over here. That was last Saturday. And since then we've just been going up. So shade of the bat. Support. Support now. We're at resistance. Time to short. No, I'm joking. I don't actually know. I'm just seeing what I see, and that's what it's telling me. This was a 40% move though. Not bad. Oh, you guys seeing what I'm seeing? 618 is the perfect support area. So if we have a pullback to 618, I would buy. If I had more liquidity though. Like I am currently fixed at the moment, so I don't have much loose capital to enter more gummy trades. So because it's so volatile at the moment, that's a 3% stop though. But on the bigger picture, we have tested this high now. And there's no significant resistance actually. So that means we could TP somewhere around this area. 1 to 9x. There we go. While you're still on, Uncle, just do a quick run through on that ASO indicator at the bottom of your charts. Putty, please. Okay. Let me bring up the Bitcoin chart again. Let's go to the 4 hour. Well, actually, let's go to the daily. Like, I haven't done any daily charting forever. And then just exit all my tools, ASO. Okay, so as Uncle Waz highlighted there in the chat, right? It is a sentiment indicator. So what the market sentiment is right now in relation to buys and like sells. So red is obviously the shorts, the selling. The blue is the buys or the longs. So the middle where they meet, that is the equilibrium. That means that there's no buying or selling pressure from either side. So they're just going sideways and consolidating at this point. That's how that translates on the chart. Then if the red's on top, right, and the blue's at the bottom, just focus on one color and then stick to it. That's how I generally work it. So whichever color you set as your primary in your head, If it's at the top, you need to be looking at the opposite trade. So if blue's on top, you're going to be looking for shorts, right? So that means blue has to come down. It's falling off its high horse. So if it falls, that means it's losing strength. So if it comes down like that, so in this case, if blue comes down, right, that's a short. And if red comes down, that's a long. Just realized I made a four. But so that's the simplicity behind it, right? It's same as the momentum indicator. Momentum also indicates the sentiment on how the price volatility moves. But with the momentum indicator, right, you just add one line and it would go like this, similar to our stock would. But then the 50% on the momentum would have been the equilibrium. And if it was below, that meant that momentum is moving to the downside. So you had to be more short biased. And when this starts moving up, then you would be long biased. But the point was when it got to the 50 or the equilibrium, that would have been the ideal point to look to get into the trade. So that's the only difference here, because that tells you which direction it would have gone, give or take. But there's no guarantee that it would follow that direction. So then the better strategy would have been to short at the highs and the lows, or long at the highs and the lows, depending on which side of the middle you were. So same thing with the ASO. Does that make sense? You got it. Okay, nice. Biko, your trade good? Did you need more insight on your trade? Are you happy with what I explained? Cool. I see Biko's on the stream. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna be closing off the stream right now. Thanks for joining.